Meditation is one of the keys to transformation and true lasting change. My name's Andrea Brown. Welcome to Thrival NOW, a new YouTube channel where I'm committed to helping you go from survival to thrival in every area of your life, your health, wealth, and relationships. And I share candidly my journey learning to thrive in an area I have not thrived in a very long time. So you can check out those videos, and I hope this will provide value. And if it does, please subscribe and ring that notification bell, set it to alert you for new videos, which I post daily. Meditation, the key to lasting change. In one of my last videos, I share a powerful image that has stuck with me for years, and that is of our subconscious and conscious minds and how they work together. The subconscious mind being like an elephant moving in a certain direction, essentially how we have been programmed since birth. So by the time you're 5, 6 years old or more, you've got most of that software downloaded from whatever your environment was, whoever your parents were, and whatever lessons you learned in life. You have a huge operating system download, and that will set the course for the rest of your life unless you decide to make a change. And that's that subconscious other than conscious level. On top of this elephant is a little mouse, more or less the conscious mind. So the conscious mind is the thoughts that you are aware that you're thinking all day long, where the subconscious mind is the other 100,000 thoughts that you think all day long, and the belief systems that are where all your behaviors and your words are rooted in around every issue. And so the little mouse is riding on top of the elephant. Now, many people, when they set about to make change, they get the mouse to go in another direction. Consciously, they try to make change in their thoughts and actions and words, but there's no true lasting change because they have not got that elephant to turn and go the opposite direction. And so the key is to get that elephant to go in the other direction. Now, the little mouse plays a big part in the sense that it is through the conscious mind that we can reprogram and download new software for our other than conscious and subconscious mind so that we'll go in the other direction. And the key for doing this is something called meditation. Now, I'm sure you've heard of meditation. Most of what is billed as meditation these days would fall under kind of under Eastern meditation practices. And there's two different kinds of meditation. You may not have heard this before, but generally speaking, in Eastern meditation, one empties their mind. You're trying to clear your mind and to empty it and to have just a clear slate. So I don't practice this, but this is my understanding of the differences. In the Judeo-Christian practice of meditation, meditation is a focus on one particular thing. It's a ruminating. And the idea comes from how cows chew the cud. So a cow has a multi-chambered stomach, and when they go out in the morning, they graze, they fill up on all this grass. And then a few hours later, they will lay down in the grass and they will regurgitate that food in stages and chew what's called the cud, or what they'd already swallowed. And they will chew it and mash it and prepare it for a deeper digestive purposes, basically. And so this is how the digestive tract of a cow works. This idea of ruminating on an idea is what the Judeo-Christian belief of meditation is based on. Meditation in this way is a great key to change your belief system, to change and get that elephant harnessed, turned around in another direction. And I know in my own life this played out. I have used the example of how I've come to truly believe that your biggest problem is your greatest opportunity. I gave my reasons for that. I have a video playlist you can go check out where I detail how this really changed my life and my argument for it. But what I want to hit on is when I first had this idea begin to settle in my life when I was 26, 27, I don't know, it was something I began to hang on to. I didn't just think it once and let it go. I began to go, I really believe this was a key to success and for my life to change. I had to change how I viewed failure. I had to change how I viewed the problems that I was facing and not complain about them and avoid them and just hate them or pray to God to get rid of them. I needed to become stronger than the problems that I was facing in every area of life. And so as I began to ponder this, ruminating on it over and over and over, telling everybody I knew about this idea, speaking about it to myself, writing about this, and deeply pondering it, I began to take this idea and something that was out there, so to speak, and I began to internalize it. And as I internalized it, it totally radically changed my life. And I share an example of, to the point that when I was fired from a job a number of years later, I used this same principle and I stuck it like a stake in the ground. And I decided that if, as crushed as I could feel from being fired from a job and the humiliation and the shame that a person could feel in those moments, that I decided to battle that shame and humiliation and mark a new beginning in my life and believe that instead of this being a problem that I had been fired, but to embrace the fact that my future had been freed. And I decided to celebrate taking huge action, not just thinking it, not just speaking it to people, but actually in my physical body celebrating what I believed. And I took myself skiing that day and I marked that day. And so this is something that I have applied in a lot of different ways, but the key is meditation. That is one of the great keys to get that elephant, that belief system, turned around. And so whatever area you're in survival in, if it's financial, if it's relational, if it's your health, there is a really strong chance that you are where you are today because of all the belief systems, the software that you've been downloaded with or been living with for years and years and years. And if you want to bring lasting change, you need to change those belief systems. And so how do you do that? One of the ways is to begin to meditate, but not in an empty, open, just a freeing of your mind. It is a focusing in on a particular area and beginning to contemplate and ruminate on an idea. And so, if you are overweight, one of the battles I'm fighting right now, that I've shared in my journey is that, I've been 30 to 40 pounds overweight for the last 10 years. And this is the area that I'm not thriving in right now in my life and that I want to make change. And so as I'm making little bits of change, I've chosen a mini habit and I invite you to check it out if you're looking to make change, to use the key of a mini habit as a starting point. But as I'm applying this, I'm beginning to, how do I begin to think about myself different? How do I begin to speak about myself different? How do I begin to act different, as an athlete, the athlete I once was? How does an athlete live and move? And so those are the questions you might ask yourself, because who do you identify with? If you are overweight, then you identify with being overweight. And those are the thoughts that you have on a continual basis. But how would you live if you were a strong and healthy, fit individual? And so that might be the question that you begin to ask yourself dozens of times and hundreds of times. You might journal, you might talk to friends. And I know of many people that have radically changed their life when they embraced this idea. They began to make every decision they made on a daily basis, asking themselves what a fit person, what a healthy person would do. Would they take the stairs or would they take the elevator? Would they order the extra large drink at the coffee shop or would they order the medium or the small drink? And so every decision they began to make was filtered through that changing mindset and this meditation that they were changing to change their belief system. And so I hope that you'll share your experience with this in the past, and maybe if you jump in, begin to apply this in your life and check back and let me know how it works. I would love to hear your comments. Thank you so much.